Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Well, having gone through the dailies, there are many who are shocked if that actually did occur. Let's get across to the spokesperson of Customs, Wale. He joins us via phone this morning. Thank you for joining us today on the program. But just as I highlighted, there are lots of people who can't quite believe that that actually is the case, as it has been reported. What exactly happened? Did the customs actually seize jollof rice, yam porridge, egusi soup from the borders?
Well, Chamberlain, thank you very much. This particular case came through the ports. It was an importation through the ports. We had suspicions. We had a number of risk indicators which we have put in our system, and through that we were able to have sufficient grounds to suspect this particular importation. And of course, we also got some intelligence from Iran. So when the container landed, we got a request for it to be transferred to an outdoor terminal. And we followed it up, and we conducted the examination, and we got exactly all of this and lots more. You know, virtually every food item that you can talk about in Nigeria were inside this container. And it's mind-boggling that when the federal government is trying to liberalize most of the items that we use to package for exports, some people still went out of the country to bring them and package them for imports. It's really mind-boggling at this period of recession.
Wow.
I don't even understand, because first of all, I'm wondering, is it that the egusi soup and jollof rice, they were cooked? And what, were they frozen, or how did they bring them in?
Well, if you are familiar with packaged food items, well, this is the forte of NAFDAC, really. But we see that some foods are prepared, they either dry them up, treated them with some preservatives, and put them inside special containers. But this one, the labels that we saw egusi, we saw jollof rice, we saw porridge yam, and this raised a lot of suspicion. And because we went with NAFDAC officials, we have to call their attention directly. These are food items. They were statutorily required to carry NAFDAC registrations. They were not. The manner of packaging, when you pack food items inside very old containers, it has, leaves some questions to the ask. So we have to bring them in, and we submitted all the items. They drew samples so that they could conduct further laboratory analysis. But now, let me assure you, this was the way it was presented. Egusi, melon, they prepare it and then they pack it inside the packages. The same thing with jollof rice. Maybe there was some directive on what to do, how to mix, when to mix it, what temperatures, and all of that.
Oh.
So this is what we saw.
And you say this came from India. Have we been able to identify who actually imports these things?
The declaration had an importer's name, but like I said, we have a number of risk indicators that we have inputted in our system. Those indicators raise some red flags for us that this is a declaration that we must pay attention to. So we lie in wait for the importer until they were ready for examination. But it did not happen. So we had to position the container in the hot dog terminal, and our officials, led by the Customs Area Controller, Basha, went for examination, and they discovered this wonder of 2016.
Is this the first time that the customs is coming across this kind of container?
In the 8 days of pre-shipment inspection, we have found some containers that were either empty or that had sand, loaded into them, stored into them. These attempts for capital flight and all of that. But this is the first time we are seeing Nigerian indigenous food packaged from outside of the country as import into Nigeria.
Wow.
You know, for so many Nigerians, just like us here, this is a big shock. And perhaps further questions will be, have you been able to get an inkling as to whether some Nigerians are also into this, since this is coming from the Asian country?
Yeah, this is the beauty of the system that we use now. It's robust enough. We can query some parameters. We can subject the importers to query. We can subject the country of origin into some analysis. We could use the agents, the customs agents, and find out how many jobs they have done in the last 1 year, and then we begin to do this analysis to narrow them down. We're just not going to believe that this is somebody who just wants to bring in food for Christmas. What the CG has directed is that first they should conduct 100% examination first and ensure that what we have is just these food items. When we are sure that it is just food items, then that's when we begin to narrow our investigations down to the characters who brought this into Nigeria.
Do you suspect any sinister motive in the food that? I mean, you already said that you think this is more than that, but what do you think could be behind it? What are the preliminary speculations that could be behind this sort of importation?
No, the first thing for us to say, if this thing was to be going the other way, if it was going out of the country as exports, nobody will suspect anything. But if it is coming in, there is every reason for us to think that something is wrong. So this is what I'm saying, and it might just not be enough for us to raise this hoopla and think that and then go to sleep. So this is why I'm saying that we will need to investigate collaboration with NAFDAC, and see what exactly is the motive behind it. So it's too early for us now to possibly speculate. We will take our time, and we will try and get around the motive behind it.
Definitely, we'll wait for the outcome of that. Also, yesterday, we got across to you so you could clarify the news making rounds on the ban on importation of Tokumbo vehicles through Nigerian border. Could you tell us more?
Well, the wisdom behind this directive is the fact that Nigerian seaports in Lagos, in Warri, in Port Harcourt, in Calabar, has the capacity to handle vehicle imports into Nigeria. So what the directive is saying is that for a long time we have been surcharged by our neighboring ports, our neighboring countries. We have attempted to engage with them. We've had numerous agreements. We have had meetings to review those agreements, ensure that Nigerian economy, Nigerian government, Nigerian people are not surcharged. But over the years, this has not worked. And so this is why government felt that it's time for us to use what we have, the facilities that we have, and channel all imports into Nigeria, vehicle imports through Nigerian ports.
All right. Okay. Well, just hang on a minute. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Do join us again.